In a recent and surprisingly candid interview, Lil Wayne opened up about his career, his legacy, and a topic that stirred a lot of conversation: his absence from the Super Bowl halftime show, especially considering this year's event took place in his hometown, New Orleans. Now, let's be real, Lil Wayne isn't just another rapper. Since the late 90s, he's been one of the most defining voices in hip-hop. From his early days with the Hot Boys to the game-changing The Carter series, Wayne hasn't just participated in hip-hop, he's shaped it. His style, his metaphors, his work ethic, everything about his presence in the game has influenced an entire generation of artists. But the Super Bowl snub? That hit differently. Why it mattered? The Super Bowl isn't just about football anymore. It's the most watched annual broadcast in the US. The halftime show is a cultural spotlight. It's a place where music legends perform, where careers are cemented in front of the world. When it was announced that this year's show would be held in New Orleans, the anticipation from fans was immediate. Wayne's got to be involved, right? Except he wasn't. And for someone like Wayne, who has always repped New Orleans, who's woven the spirit of the city into his music, his image, and even his business, being passed over felt personal. Wayne and New Orleans, a deep bond. Wayne isn't just from New Orleans. He is New Orleans. You can hear the city in his voice, in the bounce-inspired rhythms, in his references, in his storytelling. His rise from the Holly Grove neighborhood to global superstardom isn't just a personal journey. It's a reflection of the grind and grit of the city itself. He's credited the city's musical melting pot, jazz, blues, brass bands, bounce music, for influencing his flow and sonic choices. So when the biggest national event lands in your city, and you're not even a part of it, that stings. In the interview, Wayne didn't sugarcoat it. He admitted he had high hopes, even expectations. For him, performing at the Super Bowl in his own city would have been a full-circle moment, a nod to everything he's built, and a tribute to the community that raised him. The Kendrick factor. Making things more complicated was the announcement that Kendrick Lamar would be headlining. Now, Kendrick is an undeniable titan in his own right. Pulitzer Prize winner, cultural voice, lyrical genius. But to some fans, it felt like a generational shift was being broadcast in real time. Kendrick, the new voice, was getting the spotlight, and Wayne, the architect of so much that came before, was left in the shadows. There's no public beef between Wayne and Kendrick, quite the opposite, in fact. Wayne has shown love and support for Kendrick's artistry, but this wasn't about personal drama. It was about placement, legacy, recognition. Imagine being the mentor, the pioneer, and watching one of your artistic descendants take center stage in your own city during an event tailor-made for honoring icons like you. Generational tension in hip-hop. This is where the deeper conversation begins, because Wayne's feelings highlight a larger tension in hip-hop today. As new voices rise, what happens to the legends? How does the industry treat its pioneers when the spotlight shifts? Hip-hop is still a relatively young genre. The first wave of rappers is just now aging into legacy artist status. And the industry, still obsessed with the new and next, isn't always kind to its elders. Lil Wayne is still active, still releasing, still killing features. Yet the Super Bowl omission raises a question. How do we honor the people who laid the groundwork for the music we celebrate today? The role of recognition. It's not about ego. It's about acknowledgement. Wayne has weathered label drama, personal health scares, and industry shifts. He's stayed relevant through mixtapes, reinventions, and mentorship. He's responsible for bringing artists like Drake and Nicki Minaj into the limelight. So when he doesn't get the nod for something as symbolic as a Super Bowl in his city, it feels like a systemic oversight. And fans noticed. Social media lit up. Many voiced their frustration, calling it a massive miss by the NFL and halftime producers. For a lot of people, it wasn't just that Wayne was left out. It was what that omission represented. A disregard for hip-hop's history, a tendency to overlook contributions once an artist isn't trending in the same way. Drake, Kendrick, and Wayne, a three-way mirror. Let's look at the dynamic between Wayne, Kendrick, and Drake. All three are modern giants, but they represent different waves. Wayne is the blueprint. He broke the mold. From his mixtape Run to his reinvention of rhyme schemes, he changed how rappers approach the game. Drake is the bridge, deeply influenced by Wayne, yet taking the melodic, emotionally driven approach to new heights. Drake built his career under Wayne's wing. Kendrick is the philosopher, lyrically complex, politically potent, sonically adventurous. Each brings something vital to the genre. But while Kendrick and Drake get widespread institutional accolades, Pulitzers, Grammys, massive Super Bowl stages. Wayne often feels like the forgotten foundation. He is the reason for a lot of what we see today. Yet he's sometimes treated like a footnote instead of a headline. Wayne's current perspective. In the interview, Wayne wasn't just venting. He was reflecting. There's a difference. You could hear the disappointment, but also the self-awareness. He understands the game. He's seen how fast it moves. But he also made it clear he's not done. He's still got more to say, more music to make, and maybe more to prove, even after all he's done. That's the paradox of being a legend in a genre that worships the new. You're both a god and a ghost. Looking ahead. So what does all this mean moving forward? First, it's a wake-up call for the industry and fans alike. We need to do a better job of honoring the artists who built this space. Hip-hop should be one of the few genres where age equals status, where the longer you've lasted, the more respect you get. Second, Wayne's not retreating. If anything, this moment may fuel his next chapter. He's hinted at new projects. He's still showing up on features. The hunger hasn't gone away. It's just focused differently now. And third, it's a reminder that legacy isn't about awards or halftime shows. It's about influence. It's about impact. And by that measure, Lil Wayne's legacy is untouchable. Final thoughts. Lil Wayne's absence from the Super Bowl wasn't just a missed performance. It was a cultural moment that asked bigger questions about recognition, about generational shifts, and about how we treat the legends walking among us. Whether or not Wayne ever gets that halftime show spotlight, his mark on the music world is permanent. The artists you love today, they stand on his shoulders, and that's something no lineup can ever change.